Hello, everyone. It's Yogi here. I hope you're well. Yesterday we didn't get to meet. Yes, I had to do a last minute cover for a friend of mine. So yeah, and guess what? So I came back a little bit late yesterday, and guess what I was doing? I wanted to stitch. So I put out one of the webs. I think I was working on the vintage toys, and it just helped me to relax a lot more. So this is how I find my center, and I'm sure this is probably your way of finding the calm and peace as well. So this is why we're here today, and to join together and do a spot of stitching. So today, this is the project of my choice. And this one, I haven't worked on it for a little bit. And this is one of my 14 count, cozy stitching 14 count projects. And this is called Twilight View. And so when I bought the kit, it was known to me as stationery store or something like that. I much prefer Twilight View. Okay, it's got more. It sounds far more interesting. So this is a piece of artwork by John O'Brien, and he's a fantastic artist. He's got tons and tons of illustrations. If you browse on Google, they were sort of centering around European streets, and I absolutely love them. And quite a few of them have been charted as cross-stitching pattern, and I'm so grateful. And so this is one of the pieces. I got this project a while back, probably 2-3 years ago, maybe over 2 years ago from Amazon, and it came as a cross-stitching kit, even though it's full coverage. So everything I'm using today came with the package, the kit itself. And this is such a beautiful view. There's, if you look at the background there in the horizon, there's a silhouette of Eiffel Tower, I believe. So it's a view overlooking. And it's a recurring theme for John O'Brien. I've got at least one more piece that the wedding shop, the romantic, the Mason romantic, all the names I get jumbled up. There's always a Eiffel Tower in the background somewhere there. Probably just to tell you where it is, really. It's such a signature landmark. And I love just little things about this street here. It's so lived in. And there's a little bicycle, if you look at the bottom left there, and a beautiful antique shop. And it's so bright and inviting. And next door is a cafe as well, and a little flower cart on the bottom right there. Everything about this piece is just about tranquility and just romantic, really. So let's have a look at the number here. So this is where I am in terms of in relation to the entire piece. So this is not a massive sort of a heaven and earth type project, but it's fully full coverage, and it's got a few color changes. And I don't know where it is in terms of the size. It's somewhere between mini and regular size, heaven and earth. And let's have a look. So this is the area I have completed, and I started from bottom left and slowly working down. I've been switching areas I'm working on back and forth, just to keep everything fresh and just going where I want to go, where I'm interested, really. And let's have a look at, let's start here. Right. So in terms of progress, I have gone over 10%. So I'm really, really happy about that. Just another, 20 years, I'll be able to finish it, maybe. And don't worry about where it says French knot. Essentially, this piece, all the 14 count pieces I've got, they have back stitches. The French knot portion is really just the conversion. It's a kind of a hack in order for the back stitches to to display really. So thanks to Jan, one of the stitchers here, who helped me to put this chart onto Saga, which is the app I'm using. Okay, so other than the full cross, the remaining stitches are back stitches. So there's another element I love about these 14 count pieces here. And in terms of the color and number of colors, this one has 55 colors. So it's not overwhelming, but it's also not, too straightforward, if you know what I mean. There's still a fair number of color changes. And of course, I'm going to create a sprint, okay? And this will track every single stitch I'm about to do during this project and during this session. And at the end of our session, I will give you the full count, okay? And I have no idea how many stitches I'm going to manage every day. It's a surprise there. So there's a little block here, okay, just to show you in case you're wondering. This block was the area I used to do my walkthrough, my block by block parking diagonal method a while back. And I used this area, this block, to demonstrate. So it's kind of just there. And at some point, I'm going to fill up the chart there. And, you know, it will join up, hopefully. So let me switch back to my mode here. And hello, everyone. Thank you for joining me, and let's have a look the stitchers that are joining me today for a stitching session. We've got Lona, says hello Yogi, hello Lona to you, I hope you're well. And we also have Rajal as well, happy stitching on Monday, hello everyone. Yes, Rajal saying hello to stitchers all over the world there. And we also have Karen as well. Karen Sutherland says, I don't know, replying to something about weather, I think. Hello, Karen. And let's have a look. Who else have we got? Amira as well says hello. And so good to see you. And Band Creativity is also here as well. Hello. And Kelly Shaw has also joined us, and our lovely Marsha is in the chat as well, and Susan, my little assistant, and Rachel as well says hello and stitchy friends. And let's have a look. Bess from New Zealand is also here. So I know everybody's from different time zone and different weather as well. So either extreme cold or extremely hot. Oh, it's all going crazy here. And Jacqueline as well. Hello, hello. And Ligda has also joined us. And Colette, so good to see you. And Britt as well. Abney, hello, hello. And Ruth has joined us in the chat. And Sola says, hi everyone, just finished my first page of Winter Montage by Pain Free Craft. Oh, finishing is just so joyous, isn't it? I like to try that from time to time. Well, my completion is different, right? So a page is a completion, a block is a completion as well. So I have completed blocks, okay, luckily. And Serena, hello, so good to have you. And Suzanne, our lovely Suzanne is also here. And Wendy, hello Wendy. And Monique as well. And who else have we got? Clara has joined us as well. And here's, Barlow Bunny, Gary Barlow the Bunny is also joining us. So good to have you. And Callan as well, Vaduhi, Leni, and Laura. Great. You guys, model stitchers, here right on time, full of class here. So let me zoom in a little bit and tell you about what I'm going to do for this project today. Okay, let me just set up my app here. So I've been sort of moving to different areas to work on it. I think last session I was working on this block here. Okay, let me move down a little bit, the rooftop. So prior to that, I was looking at the bottom left here where the shop area is and a street lamp. And I decided to go up, start to fill up one more page here, and you can see it's completed. How nice. So I did a little bit on this session, on this area. So the rooftop here is completed. And today I'm going to continue to extend this area to toward the bottom here. So at some point, this area will join up and be completed, hopefully. And maybe I can do another spot of backstitching. You know, the other day on Saturday, we did a backstitch party with the members, and it was great fun. It was great fun. And I realized I could, you know, looked at my PDF chart, the original chart, and the colors are slightly questionable. So with that piece, I'll have to go back and revise it. But so I'm going to be mindful in terms of the color choices of this chart here. May not be 100% accurate, but I can fix that, no problem. So today I am going to work on this area here. And on top of that, I think in terms of stitching method, I am going to do a little bit of typewriting, okay? So any of you, if you don't know what a typewriter method is, you're about to see it. It's really, really interesting way of stitching. So let me just bring on my work mode here, okay? I haven't done typewriting for a little bit, And so I think just looking at, you know, the border here, it looks a very good candidate for a spot of typewriting method. Okay, so let me get it all set up here and zoom into my chart. And we also have Dawn as well. Dawn King has joined us in the meantime. Wonderful. I know everybody stay warm or stay cool, okay? I think, you know, and Lini as well. And our stitchers in Australia is, you know, is in their barbecue season, and it's very, very hot over there. It's not London summer, let's just put it that way. And also we have guys they're having extreme cold as well. So so I'm going to start with a little bit of gridding. Okay, so you've never seen me gridding before. You're about to witness it. So I'm going to extend the lines here. So it should be quite simple, but I have to be very mindful because the other, there's one session when I was working on one of the 14 counts, I realized I counted 9 blocks instead of 10. So there was a bit of a, you know, frogging or reversing stitching situation going on there. I had to take out my power tool. Oh goodness, we don't need my power tools, you know, ideally. And no fudgy, no appearance required for fudgy or, you know, the other one, the green one, okay? So I'm going to extend this line vertical. So this is the easy bit. And just keep extending, is counting the vertical height that I need to be very careful there. It's very easy to miscount. Sometimes I get lazy, I count it once, and that's when the errors, the mistakes tend to happen. So I want to count at least twice, just to make sure, to reduce the chances of mistakes. All right, and let me just zoom up a little bit more then so you can see the whole thing. So I'm going to just grid up to the page width there. So this is the width I'm going to follow. Hey, Katrina, good to see you. And I'm going to count downwards. I believe, yes, this is the top of the block. So, you know, count with me. So if I ever got the number wrong, just shout at me, okay? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I think that's correct. What do you think? Let me count one more time just in case. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I think that's good. That looks good to me. All right. And because once you get it correctly, it's just a matter of extending the lines further, then all is good. All right then, I'm going to keep going. Just count and do a few more blocks here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Let me do it one more time. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, that's looking good. So the pen I'm using is very blue, but don't worry, it's going to come off. It's water solutable. I've got a little hair there. Water solutable. So all I have to do is just dab a little bit of water. The line disappears. Janine says, slow and easy wins the race. Exactly. Yes, Janine's driving, so be very careful, okay? Be very careful. Safe journey. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. You know, safe driving. If you can drive as slow as Yogi stitching, then you're probably okay. This is, you know, safe speed here. Let me do one more, okay? I don't want to get too ambitious. I don't need to read that far. I'm not going to get there, I don't think. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Let me just count one more time. It's better safe than sorry when it comes to gridding. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Good. Right, I think I'm good here with the gridding. So, yes, typewriting. Okay, so if you don't know what it is, it's very, very simple, really. It's not so much a stitching method. It's more of a color choosing method. So, what it is, just like a typewriter, you know, typing one line at a time, we're going to follow the symbols of the first row here as we pick colors. So not so much you stitch every single stitch, so it's not row by row. So when I first heard of the method, my interpretation was to stitch one row at a time, but then that's one row at a time. Typewriting basically is to pick the colors based on the order from left to right, top to bottom, so one row at a time. But once you pick the color, what you're doing is essentially cross country. So let me show you. So the first color on the left there, very nice. There are quite a few stitches here, so I like it. So the first color is 939. The first color would be the upper left there. That's the first color that you go for. And then the second, third, and fourth, and so on and so forth as you choose color. Not so much the order that you stitch, but the order that you pick your colors. Okay, it will become very plain and simple as I'm starting to stitch. So 939, this is the first color of my choice, and I'm quite happy. There are multiple stitches. So this piece, even though it's a full coverage, it's got 55 colors, it doesn't have heavy confetti. There are areas that it has more color changes than others, but in general, it's quite a friendly piece to stitch as far as full coverage is concerned. So here we go. So 939. I hope we get a few spooky bingo. Okay. It's that you know bonding experience between you and me. Here we go. 939. Wendy says it's been crazy weather. We had extreme heat now. The winter. Woolish come back for a couple of days. You know, London is about to be hit by a, well, kind of cold spell. Not too severe, but the temperature is going to drop a little bit in just around the new year, the beginning of the new year. But the last few days isn't too bad. Kind of average temperature of this time. Janine says, I've been sick since last Wednesday. Yes, Janine's been hit by some sort of flu with hobby as well, isn't it? And having a hard time getting rid of this cough. I think cough is probably the worst when it comes to a cold. So normally if I start having some sore throat or symptoms, I do my damn best to stop myself from coughing, because once it starts, it's just downhill from there. So, Janine, definitely have patience. It takes a little while for the cough to go away, but it will eventually. The body will fight it. So, I'm moving to all the right. So I'm stitching all the colors available to me in the surrounding area, and I have the freedom to travel down as well. How far you travel, it's up to you. Ultimately, I'm doing cross country, okay, but I'm going to the right because that's the same color that I'm stitching, if that makes sense. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and I'm coming back. So this piece, I'm actually able to do a little bit of Danish method. So yes, by the way, this is 14 counts, Ada, and I'm stitching 2 strands, 2/1, full cross. So the fabric came with a kit as well. Let me just move down a little bit. Hello, Sarah. Susan says, I like typewriter method. Yes, I like it from time to time, because typewriter method, you can blend it with other methods as well, because you could do, technically, even if you do block by block parking, other than the part threads, you could do a typewriter method to choose the colors to complete the block, right? So it's kind of color selection method that you can blend it into other method that you're doing. So it's Pioneer. It was invented by Stitching Mummy. Many of you probably are familiar with her channel. And I think Stitching Mummy is also quite known for hand stitching as well. Basically stitching without hoops and doing sewing method, that kind of stuff. So oh, Sarah, how wonderful. Sarah's got good news for us. Sarah says, new granddaughter arrived 9:30 Christmas morning. Oh, no wonder Sarah has been a little bit busy. I haven't seen Sarah for a few days. Oh, of course. How wonderful. It's a Christmas baby. Yes. The baby's going to have complaints, though. You know, it's like, well, my birthday and Christmas are the same day. Why do I only get one present? I should get 2. Yes. The dilemma of New Year and Christmas babies. Congratulations, Sarah. Let's bring on the firecrackers and whatever else. Party hats and Dolly. Let's give Sarah a little bit of Dolly love, shall we? Yes, the Christmas Dolly version is going to be available only till on Christmas Eve. Christmas Eve, our Dolly is going to transition into New Year Dolly. Okay, so enjoy the Christmas Dolly for a couple more days, and the new version will be launched on New Year's Eve when we do our marathon. My goodness. And I've been doing so much color flow instinctively. I just wanted to bark. I didn't want to do create floating stitches, but that's not what I'm doing today. So I'm allowed to create floating stitches. It's like when you train your body and your brain to do certain things for a while, it becomes kind of just second nature. So yes, I'm allowed to do this. I'm allowed to do this today because I'm doing cross country. So there's no neighboring stitches that I can see. So I am going to end this color here. Very nice. Yes, all the love to you, Sarah, and please send our regards, you know, from the chat to your daughter and the new baby as well, the whole family. Congratulations. Nice, really nice. And I believe Sarah is working on a piece dedicated to the newborn as well. That's just so lovely, isn't it? Because in a few years' time, the granddaughter is going to know there's a piece of artwork waiting for her. All right then. So come back to the typewriter method. So all it is, I'm going to look to my pattern and find the symbol that's the highest position and toward the left as well, the first in the highest position. So it's going to be this one here. Nice and simple. And the next color is 645. 645. We love good news. We love good news. 645. Six, 4, 5 here. And Janine, did you have to work today as well? It's a Monday after all. For a lot of people, you know, unless you take kind of a long break during Christmas and the New Year, very often you have to go back to work in between Christmas and New Year. So wonderful, isn't it? And definitely, Sarah, you need to have a plan to train the granddaughter to stitch, nice and young, to get her, you know, hooked. And we have Diana Smith as well, if I haven't said hello already. And 6 has also joined us. Susan says only one present if Yogi is the auntie. I know. That, you know, buying present is not my forte. So, you know, if it's a Christmas and New Year baby, I'm going to just go, hey, you know, happy birthday. Oh, and Christmas as well. Merry Christmas. That would be me. I know. Terrible. Felicia says, my hubby is a Valentine baby. He's always getting the girls and the family gifting on his birthday. Oh. Yes, Valentine's. But Valentine's, not everybody gets presents during Valentine's, isn't it? So some people don't even celebrate Valentine's. So it's probably not as bad. But if you're a New Year or Christmas baby, you're probably a little bit gutted if you only get one present. And everyone else is getting 2 a year. But then, you know, if you just get one, maybe you just get a more substantial gift. People are going to feel guilty about it and maybe get you something a little bit, you know, a little bit more, you know, I don't know, bigger presents. 645, 645, going back. So I'm docking my needles, my 2 strands on my organizer. The single strands go on my needle ball. So that's how I separate them. Janine says, I started a new style last night and trying the color flow method. So far it's working out nicely. Very nice. I'm really in love with that method. I'm really in love with that method. And I know quite a few of you have already started your Heaven and Earth style start. Couldn't wait. Let me have a sip of my coffee here. Yes, let me know what you're working on and your drinks. Suzanne says, I'm doing color flow on my hate style. I'm so happy so many of you have, given it a try, because I think Gemma's method, sometimes they're misunderstood, and also people are slightly afraid of it because it looks quite restricted. But once you started working on it and get your head around, it's a very fun way of stitching. I love it. It's very relaxing as well. I just love it. And 647, 647. Six, 4A, let me just double check this color. 647. I'm thinking maybe it's about time that I make a new floss card set for this color as well, because this one, even though it's still fully working, I just prefer the new version of the cards. Suzanne says, I think I'm doing it properly, but I'm also kind of breaking the rules of occasionally. There's like one stitch left. Me too, Suzanne. And I think, this is why this method is fun to do, because a lot of it is up for your interpretation, how far you want to go in terms of bending the rules. And I do that as well. So sometimes if there are only a couple of stitches they're sticking out and there's no surrounding area that I can park, then I'll just stitch them, get them done with and get them out of the way. So yes, it's a very human way of stitching, I love it. So this is the next color of my choice, 647. And so you can see that because I'm following the symbols in order from left to right, it creates a very neat top. So sometimes when we do cross country, we kind of just pick the color we want to stitch one by one, and sometimes at the end you end up with the top border still have stitches missing. So this one, particularly if you're starting a new page or a new project, it's a very nice way to oh, hang on a second, why does it not match? I think I've got a few stitches missing with this color. I don't know why I missed those. Let me have a look. How mysterious. Let me just do these ones. I've marked a few stitches that I haven't done yet. Let me just do this one and end. Oh, yes. Also, you have the choice to either to park or not. It's up to you. I don't think I'm going to park today. I'm going to just do mini cross country. I wonder, so by mini, it probably means I would not wander further than, for 14 counts, my comfort zone would be about a block and a little bit. Maybe about you know, 10, 12 stitches. I don't want to go too far. Six, 4, 7. So I want to come back to these stitches. They're, let me just have a look. Have I got? Oh no, guys. Okay, I'm gonna demonstrate a little bit of reverse stitching. Okay, already. Well, okay, you can bring on fudgy if you like. What happened was, because I missed a couple of stitches here, so I miscounted the location of this one. Okay, let me just remove these two already. Oh dear. Yes, I know. Look away, everybody. So I am nothing to see here. So what I'm going to do is to match the pattern properly, so I don't get confused. For some reason, I marked these two. I'm going to just leave it there for now, because if I don't fix it quickly, I'm going to miscount. Suzanne, no mercy from Suzanne. Yes, fudgy though, fudgy, and you know, it's still much better than the green one. You know who. Janine is working on bluebells. Oh, 3/1 on 18 counts. Didn't like it, so stitched on 2/1 full cross. Oh, I see. So you have not changed the count of the fabric. On 18 counts, Janine tried 3 strands over 1/10. Didn't like it and switched to 2/1. Yes, 2/1 should be, you know, quite nice. Hey, Love Drunk, welcome. And Susan says, at least it's not February 29th. What day is February 29th? I can't remember. Right, 3A60. 3A60. I've got one already threaded. So I'm following the order of the top row here. That's how I pick my colors. And that's essentially what typewriter method is. Mandy, hello. Mandy Moran is here. And Susan is crocheting a pet blanket, drinking sherry and lemonade. I didn't know you have a pet. Is it a little cute little snake that's going to need a blanket? I'm trying to imagine what Susan will have as a pet. A little bunny, maybe. And also, oh, look at this. So yes, I'm picking color based on the order of the top left position, okay? But there will be occasions that there are other stitches of the same color on the top row as well. And I'm allowed to do it. I'm allowed to just jump forward and complete those stitches that shares the same color. So you can go technically as far as you want, but I don't want to wander too far. I'm going to do this one. And in fact, do I want to go further? I wonder. I'm going to play safe. I'm going to end here. Today I'm feeling very conservative. See, I already nearly had a visit of Mr. Frog, so I don't want to be too adventurous. I'm going to see if I can stay relatively safe. So I could. There are a couple of stitches down here, but I just don't feel like stitching them right now. 3A60. I think it's probably because I've been doing a lot of color flow. My brain is just trying to refrain me from, going too far away. All right then. Interesting. And I'm thinking whether you could blend a typewriting method with color flow as well. I'm trying to think whether you could kind of do a hybrid. So next one, 310. 310. Normally when I say 310, there will be bingo everywhere. Oh, yes, there isn't a 29th, is there? February. Am I missing the point? Is there a joke in there, punchline somewhere? Vadu, he says, I'm stitching Gemma's message, but my project is so confetti heavy and so many threads parked. It gives me anxiety. Vadu, have you tried color flow yet? I think color flow is quite good for confetti though, even though it does mean you still have to, not create floating stitches, but you have more freedom in terms of the location you stitch. Because for the vintage toy piece that I'm doing, there's some areas extremely confetti around the robots, but color flow seems to flow quite well with it. Hi, Lizzie. Oh, Lizzie. Lizzie says, did not realize Yogi was going live early. Yes, going forward, Mondays will be regular time because my class for Monday evening has been moved to earlier time. And also, today I didn't have evening class because it's nearly New Year. So going forward, Mondays will be regular time, and only Fridays going forward will start a little bit later. Suzanne says, I was working on Sailing Beneath the Solar Eclipse. Beautiful piece. A lot of confetti. Yes, but that is such a beautiful piece though. Really, really pretty. So I'm gonna just keep going for a little bit with this one. It's so funny, my body keeps trying to do color flow, just automatically want to stop here. And I have to remind myself, no, you can go a little bit further today. Lona says, I try the colorway method. Do you mean color flow method? I think I fell asleep in that class. Lona. Lona says, I got right at the 1200. What? And then you fell asleep after 1200. Time to sleep. I think if you stitch over 1000, you probably need a nap. Yes, Lona is one of our alien stitchers. 1,000 is like nothing. He's like, yeah, today, slow day, 1,200, not 1,200, yes, 1,200. Two. So essentially I'm doing mini cross country. Oh, Amira says February 29th is the day that only exists every 4 years. Okay, so every 4 years that happens. Yes, normally it's 28 days, isn't it? I know, yeah. So what happens if you're born on that day? You can only have birthday every 4 years? Oh, that's not fair. That is so not fair. It never crossed my mind. I'm sure that happens as well. I wonder what they do. Oh, yes, of course, leap year. Susan says, I don't have a pet. It's for ISPCA blanket appeal. If we have a pet, it would be a cat. Oh, why don't you have one then, Susan? You know, a white cat. So you can have a white cat sitting on your lap and you can stroke it and, you know, have evil smile at the same time, like a Bond villain. Just, I can imagine that with Susan. Just go, Yogi, I got you. Susan said Yogi would get you a present once every 4 years. I love it. Yes, if you, I'll definitely get you a present. If it's once every 4 years, I'll do my best. You know, I have 4 years. It's our Olympics. You know, I have 4 years to think about what to get you. I think I can probably manage that. Lona says, my mum's birthday falls on Thanksgiving once every 7 years. What does that mean? Last year, 2024, her birthday was on Thanksgiving. Oh, you mean every 7 years her birthday happens to be on Thanksgiving. How does that work then? Lona says, how old would you be, 1 or 4? Good question. One, two, three, four. Okay, so this is where I'm going to stop, so I don't wander too far. It's mini cross country today. Hey, Nikki. Hello. Good to have you. Lona says, Yogi didn't read it all. I got 12 100 put in, then restart it on different fabric. I'm at 1245 now on my restart. Hang on a second. So has it all happened today? Lona, slow down. So Lona essentially saying she did 1200 on her project and decided to restart. And now she's on 1241 stitches. What is going on there? Has Lona got about 48 hours a day? How do you manage that many stitches? Oh, I'm so scared. All aliens. Amira says sometimes my birthday falls on Easter. Sometimes it's not very close. Oh, right. So it's not always the same day. Well, my brain hurts. When it comes to numbers, my brain hurts. Okay. Right, so I'm going to go back to the top row and pick my next color there. The next one, oh, is one of my favorite colors, 550. 550. So I don't want to wander too far. Technically, you could do extreme cross country if you want to, but I think, you know, I generally try to kind of minimize the situation that I have to take my thread over stitch area. So if I start to fill up, go too far, I'm going to create a lot of, probably more likely to be, you know, to have to take my threads over completed stitches, which I don't want to do. 550. 550. It's a purple. I like it. Hello, Becky. Welcome. All right then. And also, guys, just a reminder of what's happening on New Year's Eve. Okay, so New Year's Eve, we're doing our marathon. Okay, so our New Year marathon is going to start. I've worked out the time. So the New Year marathon, we're going to do a 10-hour marathon. So those, you know, those of you who have joined me on the marathon, you know how we roll here. And so New Year's Eve, 21st of not February, January, UK time, we're going to start at 9 o'clock, 9 p.m. So guys, you need to take a nap before if you're in Europe, and 9 p.m. And we're going to start stitching then for 10 hours. So it's going to take us over to midnight, where we're going to do countdown together in UK time. And then we're going to keep going until I think the first midnight in America is about 5 a.m. in the UK time. Okay, so you can do the conversion there. The first time zone that hits midnight in the USA, in the US, it's about 5 a.m. midnight. And then we'll do the countdown with our American friends, and we're going to keep going for a bit till about 7 a.m. UK time, okay? And so, you know, start to warm up and get your power snacks, power drinks ready. And if you do need to do carb loading, go for it. You know, all the preparations that us athletes do before big events. before the marathon. Okay. So, and it's going to be a SAL. So the only requirement for the SAL is a new start. And I know quite a few of you already started your new year, quote unquote, new year start. And you can cheat a little bit, but if you can start with me with a new project, that'll be so much fun. 550. Let me put this back. Lona says, Yogi, I get more stitches on days. I don't sleep much. And that was over 2 days, not one. You haven't slept for 2 days, Lona? Have you got some sort of superpower? So Lona does not have 48 hours a day. Lona simply just skips regular sleep. I don't know how you do it, Lona. Right, so let me come back here. And so, but still, you know, it's not just the time you have available, it's, you know, your capability, the endurance of stitching as well. So Lona, you are extreme athlete. And Sarah as well. Sarah stitches like 7-8 hours a day. And that's just a normal day. That's almost a marathon. You know, we do 10-hour marathon a day. And Sarah is doing that, you know, very close every day. 3-5. 3-15. 3-15. Yes, Susan, power nap. Prime the body for the event. Suzanne says, I might start something. Because Suzanne has got a Christmas start, right? That beautiful flower piece. And why not? Start another one. Why not? Yes. So you have a Christmas start and a New Year's start. Lona says, 3 hours of sleep. So 2 days, Lona has 3 hours sleep. Why is that then, Lona? You need to nap sometimes. No chance for me. I don't sleep for a long time, but, you know, I need probably at least 4 or 5 hours. Well, some days, I have to admit, there were days that I have to get up super early. I can get away with maybe 4 or 5 hours of sleep. But, you know, I can't do it every day. Most days, I need about 6 to 7 hours to feel normal. So I'm going to travel down here, just follow the color. And then 2 more. This fabric is really nice to stitch. And I'm going to end it here without wandering too far. You can see that's, you know, it's filling up this extension of this bit of the roof. 315. Bess Williams says, I'll be starting Cozy Winter Book, Nook, Pain-Free Craft for the marathon. So excited. Yes, I've seen. Maybe it was you posting the markup. It's very colourful, and it's got that sort of reader snip. Well, what is it called? The Amy Stewart's winter reading Nook, but you know, different in style, obviously, but very similar feel to it. So that's very nice. 939. I'm really excited to start mine as well. And see you later, Serena. How nice to have you. 99. Serena's got early morning. She has to get up super early. So well done, Serena. 99. Sweet dreams. 939. I've got one part already. Lona says, I can function on 1 to 4 hours of sleep every day, Lona. Wow. I wouldn't last. I'll start hallucinating if I don't get proper sleep for a little while. But Lona always feels like, well, my impression of Lona is always very energetic, and Lona also has to help out Mom as well, don't you? So that's amazing. Why does it look different? Am I missing something? Oh, the stitch is, oh, I shouldn't tell you. The stitch is not, it should be one stitch down. But I'm sure, oh, I don't know. Hang on, let me just end this one first. Because I miscounted with that stitch. Shall I just remove these stitches? Because it's creating problem there. Yes, I'm going to just look away, okay? It's a mini power tool operation here. And if you close your eyes for a couple of seconds, you might not even notice what I'm doing here. So here we go. I'm going to remove these two offending stitches. Hang on. Because they're creating problems. I'm trying to figure out what's happening here. I think what's happening here is oh dear, okay, I know what's happening here. I am going to remove a couple of stitches, okay? No judgment, ujjayi breaths, deep breaths. Yes, I miscounted. I've been doing color flow so much. You know, doing cross country just feels a little bit weird. That's my excuse. That's my excuse. So I'm going to remove this one as well. So just so I can start fresh in this area. Oh no, not a green one, not a green one. And I'm not stitching Sifu, okay? Just so you know, Suzanne. Yes, I think when power tool makes appearance, it is a green frog territory. I admit. This is no longer reverse stitching. I know. But it has to be done because it's creating confusion here. And also, the reason I don't want to fudge here is, if I zoom out a little bit, I'm happen to be at the border of the roof here. So I don't want to mess up this line there. Normally, if it was somewhere around here, I'll probably fudge. But I don't want to fudge this area. because this is kind of clear definition I want to have. So yeah, I know. It's it happens. It happens. It's okay. Crisis averted. A little bit of power tool, you know, doesn't hurt. Yes, it's all matched up now. It's all matched up now. Night, Amira. Sleep, sweet dreams. Lona says, I might start Amy Stewart's exclusive new piece. Oh, the one, the mystery, quote unquote mystery pattern that was dropped, released by everybody's surprise the other day. Yes, why not? Because you'll probably be one of the first to start that piece. I think majority of people joining the Hade Sal will probably start with the Sal piece, right? So Lona, you can get ahead and start that one. I'd love to see the progress. Listen to Nikki. Oh my God. So this is how Nikki rolls, okay? Nikki says, I'm going to start everything if my family doesn't need me. We shall see. I'm sure they need you at some point, but you can just pretend you're not there. Just hide in a cupboard or something. How do you start everything? Nikki, are you starting everything on the same day? Dear, oh dear. How do you start everything simultaneously? Well, I think you can do it because, you know, you can just have them all framed and on a hoop or whatever and just swap them, you know, throughout the entire day. I'd love to see that. Okay, then. In that case, I'm going to still continue to follow the line there, okay? In the spirit of typewriting, I am going to just ignore the crime scene and just stick with the message. 779. 779. I've got one. Threaded already. Suzanne, yes, Suzanne, you do have a point. Suzanne says, the thing with power tool is we can hear them working. I'm so sorry about the noise. I know it was deafening. And that's why, if someone's operating with the power tools, you just know, don't you? Oh dear, I was trying to hide it. I was trying to be discreet, just do it secretly. But the noise gave away. Oh dear. Ruth says, eyes on your stitching, everyone. Yes. Oh, I'm nervous. Yes, but guys, I've been very transparent, right? If I do make a mistake, I do tell you. Very nice. So it's filling up from top to bottom, which is nice because with cross country, sometimes you just wonder where, just go wherever you want to go, and it creates a lot of sort of loose stitches. You have to come back and fill. I mean, in this case, it's going to happen at some point, but you can kind of decide how far you want to wander. so you don't create too many loose stitches. I mean, seriously, my body, my instinct is telling me not to do floating stitches. It's literally screaming and go, what are you doing? Because I've been doing so much color flow recently. It's going, no, don't do it, no floating stitches. So I'm fighting with that instinct. All right, I'm going to stop here. Clara says I'm going to start writer's desk, regular max color. Very nice. That's Amy Stewart's companion piece for the traveling library. 779. Let me take a sip of my water here. Oh, Nikki. So Nikki is starting both companion pieces. That's the writer's desk and the traveler. Is it Traveler's View? And also the Amy Stewart exclusive. Oh, right, Lona, you have to beat Nikki, okay? You probably have to start just, about 5 minutes before Nikki doing it. Nikki is going to have 3 pieces to juggle. Lona, if you do a head start with... as soon as this, marathon starts, you hit the first stitch, then you'll probably beat Nikki for it. So Nikki's starting with that one as well. I can't remember the title of the piece. Is some sort of crafter or stitcher sanctuary or something like that. It's a mystery piece, or supposed to be a mystery piece, that was released just a couple of days ago. And Nikki, what fabric count are you going to be doing for those pieces? So you're starting 3, right? Or are we talking more? Hey, Kelly. Kelly says, hi, Yogi and Stitches. Yes. Oh, doctor's appointment. I hope everything went well, Kelly. 3722. And welcome. 3722. I've got one threaded. Nikki says, I already started a daydream one. Which one's daydream? Nikki's probably got about 10 new whips starting at the same time. I think you were restarting the bookshelf, right? Amy Stewart's bookshelf piece, and you've got the world map thing, the Gecko Rouge world map. And when are you going to go back to the calamari lady? Okay, calamari lady is feeling slightly neglected, I bet. Calamari lady is like, oh, Nikki just doesn't come visit me anymore. And now she's got like a new toys to play with. She's forgotten all about the seafood lady. I still have no hair. Please give me some hair. Now you've got like giant cone of CXC 310. Just give me some of them. It's cold here in the winter. Have compassion, Nikki. Give the lady some hair. Lynn says, hi, Yogi. Hope you're all okay. You're making mistakes. Naughty, naughty. That's what you come in with, Lynn. You should come in and to Yogi and go, hey, Yogi, whatever you do, I support you. It doesn't matter. You can frog as much as you want. We're here for you. Rather than pointing out Yogi's mistake. Yes, fair enough, fair enough. It's a tough crowd. I know, I know. Yeah. Yes, even the best make mistakes. And of course, you're talking about someone else. Welcome, Lynn. Ruth says, I want to start them all, but I've joined Web Warriors. Web Warriors, and we'll be working on 26 in 2026. You mean 26 projects? I have left space for 6 new starts. Oh, so Ruth, your plan for next year is to start 26 new projects. Is that what it is? That's quite ambitious. Sarah says, I'll be starting black on black, of course. That's a very bold start. And I hope, Sarah, you've got all your cones ready. Okay, with this one, I think I'm probably going to wander a little bit, slightly further down. 2, 3. I'm trying to make sure not to miscount again. Nikki says, yes, I'll swap them throughout the day. Suzanne says, Alex will be going to his dad's, so I'm all ready for the marathon. Yay! It's lovely to have, Alex around, but it's also nice to have some, totally you time, Suzanne time. Yes, wonderful. Wendy says, Yogi, what will you be starting for the marathon? Oh, let me show you Wendy. Yes. Wendy's giving me excuses to flash my new year, new start for you. Okay, here we go. So for New Year's start, I am going to do, let me turn this one off. I'm going to start with a Cherry Marchetti piece, not this one. Okay, let me turn it off here. And it's called Sleep Time. Are you ready? Here we go. This is it. Oh my God. Every time I look at it, my heart just starts racing. I cannot wait. It's so beautiful. And also I did a little bit of a testing on my fabric there, and I'll show you the result on when we do the marathon. And I kind of went back and forth in terms of how I want to do this piece. And slowly, it took some time. And I'm glad that I actually spent time to allow myself to kind of, come to a conclusion that I'm totally comfortable with. Because, otherwise you don't want to start something and then regret it and thinking that you should be doing something else. So this is the piece there, Wendy. Sleep Time, yes. And yes, so it's so beautiful. It's just so, there's something quite mystical about it, but not sort of in the fantasy zone. It's just, in this forest, beautiful forest, that everything's glowing at night, and these beautiful little creatures sleeping so soundly, because you can only sleep like that when you're feeling 100% safe. So they're feeling nice and safe and cozy, and being guarded by these little creatures up there. There's a squirrel and an owl and a little red bird looking over, protecting the little doggy and the kitty and the little fox. And look at the tree house at the back. It's just, oh, I love it. I love it. I love it. And also, this one is my first supersize. This max colors and supersize. Okay? I'm starting 2026 with a big bang there. So there you go. That's my New Year's start. Oh, can't wait. Becky says, I'm going to start traveling library, Amy Stewart, or dashing through the snow. Do both. Look at Nikki. Becky, if you can't make up your mind, just do both. You're going to start them anyway next year. Might as well. You know, we have a marathon to do. You have time to swap projects. Hey, River. Good to see you. Kelly says, now I'm having a cup of tea and a few shortbread cookies. Oh, is it shortbread? Shortbread. As in the buttery little fingers, finger shape shortbread. Sometimes they come in different shapes. Yes, they can come in sort of like little wedges. Oh, you guys have to tell me about Whip Warriors. I've never heard of it. So I'm getting all the new stuff from you guys. I'm not in the loop of anything. I know nothing. I'm counting on you guys. Oh, Janine is back. Well done. Okay. I'm always slightly worried when I hear Janine driving and then so chatting at the same time. So safe journey. Drive safely. Lona says, oh dear, are you breaking the app already? Lona says, markup RXP only lets me put 150 patterns. Ask me how I know. Yeah, okay. So Pattern Keeper, right, so Pattern Keeper and Saga, they don't have a limit, do they? I wonder why they put a limit to it. I don't know. There's probably a limit somewhere, but not many people find out what the limit is. 150, eh? Hey, Joyce. Welcome. Joyce, are you having a new start or are you doing the hate? I know Joyce is doing the hate. Sao, isn't it? So... Nikki says 4 or 5 starts on the same day. Oh my God, that's a sight to behold. You should live stream. You should live stream your stitching. You know, at some point, I'm going to get the tech ready so I can have a co-stitcher with me from time to time. You know, just stitch with me together live here. We can chat. That'll be good. I'm just trying to sort out the technical thing. It's not as straightforward with the setup I'm having. And Nikki's doing them in 32, 25, 28. Oh, I wonder which is for which. Jackie says, hello, everyone. Hi, everyone. I just had a very happy mail delivery. In total, 6 yards on 25. Count. Swagger fabric ready for a lot of new start. 6 yards. How big is that? How long is that? Oh. So Jackie's ready. Alicia says there may be a lot of people starting Amy's piece now. I know a lot of people said they were only doing Sao to get Amy. Yes, that's right. That's why we did a poll the other day when we were looking at the mystery piece. You know, see if anybody is kind of going, I joined the Sao only for that piece, but I'm not. You know, I'm slightly disappointed with the piece. And it turned out, I think they were, out of about 30 votes, 14% of the people saying that if I knew this was the piece, maybe I wouldn't have joined. But majority of you are very happy. So 961, 961. I mean, mystery chart is a tricky one because unless you're pretty sure everybody's going to be so thrilled with it, sometimes some people might get disappointed. So I think they're doing the right thing. It's much better to just show people what it is, even though you can't join anymore. Maybe, who knows, maybe in January, they're going to surprise everybody and open up the Sao for a couple of days. I think that would be a very nice idea for Sao to do, for Hey to do. Karen says, the goal of Whip Warriors is no new starts. Really? What kind of goal is that, Karen? Why would you want to do something like that? Okay, so Whip Warriors. Okay, I thought it was some sort of Sao. It's not. It's basically a really depressing goal and says, no new start. For how long then, Karen? And focus on current whips only. Oh, Karen, who started an idea? Seriously, that should be banned. What kind of goal is that? And for how long though? For 3 days? I can probably manage about 3 days. Or 3 weeks even, no new start. But that's it. Ruth says 20 whips and 6 new projects. I'm trying to reduce my whips, not increasing them. But you have 6 new projects though. So that will keep you busy for a little bit. But imagine, you know, the length of time we spend on each project. Let's say even the fast stitchers, the regular size, heaven and earth, will probably take about 2 to 3 years, right? And so imagine if you can't have any new start for about 3 years. I don't know. I'll get depressed. I don't care how many whips I've got. Why do we have a, let's have a look. Sorry, I'm slightly behind there. Lona says, Sanctuary of Stitching is something that you would totally do, Yogi. Oh, Sanctuary of Stitching is the new piece, is it? Amy Stewart. Yes, we looked at that one. Lona, were you here when we did the review together? Yeah, we looked at it, and I looked at the mock-up, you know, properly. I don't know. It's my gut feeling is not telling me to love it. I don't know. It's very sort of primal reaction, isn't it? You can't kind of analyze it and go, oh, I should like it. But I'm not really feeling it with that piece. With Traveling Library, instantly, and also Winter Reading Nooks and all the pieces, Amy Stewart pieces I'm doing, instantly, I just, my body's screaming for me to do it. For that piece, not really. So, yeah. Ring, hello, Ring. Janine says, love starting new projects. Yeah, me too. You and me both, Janine. And so I'm slightly behind with the chat. I'm catching up. Hey, Travis. Great to see you. And yes, I'm doing typewriter method, Travis, for change. Revisiting typewriting method. Jackie James, where's the new start from? Are you referring to my new start, the sleep time? Are you referring to this one? This is not Amy Stewart, Chira Marchetti. It's a heaven and earth pattern. It's called Sleep Time. And what I've got is the max colors and supersize. And they come in different formats as well. Wendy says, I love that. I have to start with you. Or Traveling Library, or one of the 20 I bought on sale was on. You know what? As long as you have the fabric ready, and if you have a master set, you can practically start right away. For me, I try to not to have too much fabric at my disposal, because I'm going to just start things left, right, and center. And so normally, fabric is the only factor that stops me from starting a new start. Maybe that's all for the best. But if you have the floss ready, you know, you can practically, and the fabric as well, you can practically start anyone you want. The next one, 152. 152. So I'm following the order here, one by one. I'm being very good here. Jody, hello Jody. Jody says, everyone, sorry I'm late. Been busy before I head out of town. Yes, Jody, be here on time for the class. Okay, submit the report. I need to know, full report. Good to see you. And so Joanna, hello. Nikki says, that sounds fun to have another streamer on too. And you know who is on top of my list? It's you, Nikki. Dun, dun, dun. Yes. I want to, you know, Nikki's being really elusive with her channel, with the streaming. So I think the best policy is just drag her on here to stitch with me, to force her to be here. Yes, I'll try to work out the technical side of it. It's not that straightforward. You know, something like StreamYard might be good, but they charge a fortune just to stream every month, just to stream 4K. So for now, I'm sticking with OBS. Lona says, if there's a limit, I find it. I know, Lona. You push a limit so hard, you basically broke markup RXP. Markup RXPs are going, oh, please stop, Lona, that's it. That's it, I can't do it anymore. Oh, I think there's something happening here. These two, a little bit suspicious, guys. I'll confess. I'll confess. I don't know. I might bring out the power tool. Well, my power tools have been warmed up already, so I might as well use it. These two, I think there's one stitch off. See, after doing color flow, doing cross country is a little bit weird. Keep miscounting. Oh, all right. So the yard we were talking about, the it's a 6 yard. 6 yards is about 5.5 meters. Okay, that's enough for a regular size heaven and earth. Trying to think, at least 3, right? Oh dear, Jackie's going to be unstoppable. River, where have you been? River says, what is the Amy exclusive? Guys, River doesn't know. Oh, River, you have to come to the class every day to catch up with the latest news. Yes, Amy Stewart, you know the Hate Heaven and Earth Sal? There's, or there was a mystery pattern that you have to, you only get if you finish 1 page of the Sal piece of your choice. And for some reason, Heaven and Earth decided to release it before the Sal even started. And also, you don't need to stitch a single stitch. It's just given to you. So that's a new Amy Stewart exclusive, I think, for the Sal. Hey, Cassie, welcome. Joy says, I've started the hay Sal, just posted a picture, but I'm going to watch this tomorrow, cutting down screen time. Oh, haven't been sleeping well. Hoping it doesn't make any difference. Yes, if you need to catch up sleep, definitely do it, Joyce. And so nice of you to pop in. And yes, watch the replay. 99 too, Joyce. Sleep is important. Going to move on. Okay, guys, I'm going to bring out my power tool, okay? Really sincere apologies for the noise. I'm just not happy having these two. Normally, I'll probably fudge it, but I'm just not happy these two are playing up there. So this stitch is technically okay because these two is supposed to be 1 stitch left here. So I'm going to just remove both of them to keep things simple. Okay, power on. Dun dun dun. Sorry, yes, I know it's noisy. Please turn down the volume, okay? We don't want to disturb the neighbors. Here we go, and they're gone. Boom, so quick. Power tools. There, I'm trying to tease this bit down. Yes, well, today just one of those days. And I think it's because I've been doing so much color flow. That's my excuse. Yes. Green frogs. Yes, I deserve it. You know, this is, yes. nice. This one's really cute as well. Yes, I know, I know. Yes, this is the green frog situation. I admit. But I've cleared up the crime scene. It's okay. You can't see it anymore. And there's one stitch, I actually did a pin as well, so I'll need to, you know, find the crime scene when I get there. Susan says, I still think it would have been better if there was a kitty. Oh, you mean for the Amy Stewart piece? No, but Ebony will not be able to stitch it, if that's the case. Lucky escape for Ebony. So 3, 6, 8, 9, just one stitch. Oh, very unusual. 3, 6, 8, 9. Very occasionally, this piece will have one ninja stitch somewhere, but rarely happens. 3, 6, 8, 9. Just one stitch. Lona says, Yogi, that surprises me since you have several pieces similar to that. So Lona is referring to the new Amy Stewart piece. I think I know why that piece is not I'm not really sort of totally in love with it. It's probably our style. So that's very individual, isn't it? Because I know some of you totally in love with that piece. So it's a matter of preferences. That piece, I think I explained during the stream a couple of streams ago when we looked at it together. It feels like it's a little bit more computer graphic for me, for my eyes. And that is just me, really. And I love the theme, though. I love the fact that there are references of her other, projects, other pieces. They're really popular ones. So that's a nice touch. But I can't really do anything about it. If I'm not feeling it, I'm not feeling it. So 3, 6, 8, 9. But I love to see what everybody's doing. And Joanna, sorry, I haven't got the auto translator here, so I'm not able to understand. If anybody understand the language Joanna is typing, then please help me out. Rue says, Whip Warriors used to be called No New Starts. Well, as you say, that's much clearer. But it has changed with people's needs. So 4 streams to choose from. No new starts. Focus X, 26 and 20. I have no idea what you're saying, Rose. Yes, it stopped making sense midway there. What do you mean? I don't know what you mean by 4 streams. So, but if the idea is just sticking with what you've got, then I get it. River says, I can't wait to see your sleep time start, Yogi. Yes, we're starting on our New Year marathon. So River, are you starting anything new in the new year? 3328, 3328. Lona says, I love to watch Nikki stitch. Yes, you know, at some point I'm going to drag Nikki on here to stitch with me. And I will interrogate Nikki about her combs. Maddie says, I have finished Be Elemental. Well, oh, wow, congratulations. Yes, Maddie's been working on that piece for a little while, so congratulations. Becky says, just 10 foggy stitches myself. That's a cute way of calling it, foggy stitches. Yes, not paying attention to my work. I know, it happens to the best of us, you know. So this one's 3328. Spooky foggy Becky. Susan. That's so funny. Yes, if you're frogging, the same time as me, that's spooky froggy bingo, isn't it? Yes, we're having a froggy bingo right here, live on Yogi Stream. Travis says, did I mention that Tia and I saw the new Avatar movie? It was amazing. Oh, the third one. That's amazing. And you went to the cinema for it. Yes. It's nice to have a movie you want to go to cinema for. Oh, I get to cover the crime scene here, the pin stitch. I'm going to hide it so no one can ever go, hey, what's happening there? It's a little bit sticking out there. River says husband has been sick in bed, sick all day. Oh dear, is it like a flu? Yes. And River says, I have 1,234 stitches already today. Oh dear. 1, 2, 3, 4, indeed. River, what does that mean? Yes, River is in the alien category as well. And I hope the husband is going to feel better. Going to feel better soon. Alandria, hello. Yes. Join us for a spot of stitching. Oh, Travis has got a very good question, actually. Let me bring this up. So Travis is asking, does a hoop affect stitches that is covering in between the two pieces of wood? So you're talking about the part that's got tucked around the hoops. Personally, I don't think it does any damage, because sometimes when you release the fabric from the hoops, sometimes you can see a little dent, a little kink there, but you know, it kind of evens out after a while. So maybe the chat has insight as well. Personally, I don't really see the problem there. Some people might put a layer of fabric or felt to cushion it, and I used to do that, but later on I kind of notice it doesn't really matter. And also sometimes when I place a piece of felt in between, it loosens up the tension sometimes, so you can't really maintain the tension as easily. So you shouldn't worry about that. Personally, I don't. 3328, 3328. Rose says 4 streams are the groups you can join. Okay, so there are 4 different groups. So Rose is explaining the what is it called, Web Warriors thingy. Rose says no new starts or Focus X. I have no idea what Focus X is. It's okay. I think I get a gist of the whole thing. So choose 10 projects for the year or 26 projects of the year, or stitch whatever you want whenever you want. So basically, so if you have more than 10 projects, you can just narrow it down to 10 or 26. But why 26? It sounds pretty random. It goes from 10 projects or 26 projects, and basically just stick with what you've got. So if I have 12 projects, can I just do 12? I wonder. So basically just no new starts really, and just work on what you've got. Fair enough. Fair enough. 3863. 3863. It's a brown. Lona says, Yogi, 4 of my new hate start. My new hates are by Chiramakitty. Oh, so we've got 4 of them. Okay, after seeing your work on one of his pieces, I fell in love with his artwork. Yes, Chiramakitty is quite interesting. I mean, with Amy Stewart, for instance, I love many of her artwork, you know, the patterns, but I don't love all of them. Some of them I don't. I'm not feeling, you know, they're just not for me. But and probably the same with Chiramakitty as well. He's got kind of different branches of styles, and you know, the ones I've got with Sleep Time, and also the old kitchen, the old quilt room, those I love deeply, you know, totally in love with them. But his work for tarot cards, for instance, more on the kind of fantasy side of things, they're not for me, you know. And the style, the art style is very different as well. So I kind of pick and choose, only go for the ones I like. So I rarely just love every single piece of an artist. But John O'Brien, I have to say, I love majority of them as well. John O'Brien is the ones that does this piece, for instance, and 2 other projects that I'm doing on 14 counts. All right, I'm just trying to see if I should travel down a little bit. Maybe I will. Maybe just one more. 3A63, 3A63 going back. Let me take a sip of my tea, my coffee. So no new start forever. Ah, Clara. Thank you, Clara. Clara translated Joanna's comment there. Joanna is asking Yogi if you always start with the English method. So I I do a mixture of both Danish and English. I started off doing Danish all the way when I was doing simpler patterns, you know, like dimension, where there's no confetti, pretty much no confetti. And so I learned cross-stitching starting with Danish method. But with this type of project, full coverage with more color changes, I slowly transitioned to doing a lot more English method. So English method is basically you complete the full stitch as you move forward. Danish, you do one leg at a time and then come back. So I do a mixture of both. Majority of the time nowadays, particularly with more confetti area, I do one at a time for the reason that very often with 14 counts is probably less likely to happen, but for anything like 25 counts and upwards, if I start doing Danish, I could, you know, there are few occasions I notice. First of all, because there's quite a lot of color changes, it's harder to do Danish method. Because Danish method, you want the stitches to be very close together, and that makes it very efficient. But sometimes when I do Danish method on small, higher count fabric, I miss the second leg very often, particularly when I'm doing sort of, you know, when I'm stitching areas that it's got already have a lot of stitches there already. Sometimes I miss the second leg. So, you know, just make sure that that doesn't happen too frequently. Nowadays, I tend to do English method. So it took a little bit of getting used to, because my instinct was always trying to look for the stitches of the same colors and do the first leg and then coming back. I still do that from time to time. If I want to take, you know, stitch towards one direction, but I want to start with the next bit from the same point. Let's say if you have row by row, multiple rows, then sometimes I still do Danish. But yes, majority of the time nowadays, I do English. So there you go. Hopefully that helps. All right, let me come back here to the first row and pick my next color. I think my plan is to go all the way, because with Typewriter, you can, you know, extend it to whatever width you want. You can do it within one block or the entire piece. So I think I'm gonna see if I can keep going, following the symbols of the first row till I get to the end of the page border. All right then, next one. 9A9. 9A9. Oh, A98, a little bit different. A98, not 9A9. Oh, thank you guys for translating. Clara says, since you use Saga Yogi, if you highlight the first page, will it tell you all the colors needed for that page or blocked areas? Yes. And I think that's the power of Saga, because you could literally, so Saga does not recognize pages, not according to the pattern. So majority, I think all patterns probably come in pages unless it's very small sampler type. Then pages don't come into it. But with Saga, it doesn't have such a border sort of definition as pages. It kind of ignores it, but you can create your own. So to answer Clara's question, so for instance, if you block up this area, which is essentially a page border, right, about a page size, you can define it yourself. And if I drag it over here to the unstitched area, yes, everything. So you have stats, numbers for the entire piece, but if you create a border like this, whatever big or small it is, all the calculation that's happening within your stats here is contained within the box I've just created. So if you can see there's a section in the middle on the left side panel here, says within the area. So all the numbers below here are basically specifically for that box that I've just created. So it's got cross stitch, it's got 108 stitches done within that area, and then the remaining numbers, etc. And number of the colors as well within the area is 46 colors. So hopefully that makes sense. So even though technically Saga does not recognize pages as such, but if you create a user-defined area, you get calculations within that area as well. And that's what makes it so powerful, because no other apps, Markup RXP can kind of do that, but you have to do it page by page, which is quite a large area. But with Saga, you can literally define 10 by 10 or even less. It's up to you. So 26 is coming from 2026. Okay. That's fair. I think if you want to spend a year to just work on what you've got already, that sounds like a challenge as well. Why not? So this is my page border here. So I can, I'll see how it goes. See if I can keep picking the symbols till I reach the border on the right there. Clara says, I only can type a few words every time we post a chat. I wonder why that is. Oh, chocolate time, Susan. Yes. Thank you for reminding me. Yes, why not? Sarah as well echoes the chocolate time. Yes, it is, isn't it? Oh my goodness. Okay. Let's have a chocolate break here. Let me just end this stitch here before I get confused. Okay, here. And let me do a soft parking. So I'm not really parking. I'm just pull my threads through here so I know where to start next when we come back from the break time. So chocolate time, everyone. Chocolate snacky time. Okay, it doesn't have to be chocolate. Bring on your snacks. And let me zoom out a little bit so you get to see what's happening on my fabric here. There you go. It's quite nice, isn't it? The house is happening slowly and surely, and I'm really looking forward to the back stitching as well. It's gonna just add so much definition. All right then, chocolate time. And Travis says, I was stitching earlier today, but decided to take a break. I finished the E.T. puzzle I was working on now. I'm building Lion King puzzle. Yes, Travis is a jigsaw puzzle fan as well. I actually love it as well. I just haven't done it for ages. Giant chocolate button time. Yay. Here we go. Yes, I still have my chocolate button. They're still giant, okay? They're still pretty big. There you go. Gorgeous. And I've got my coffee as well. Let me know what you're snacking on. And Sarah says chocolate and peanut butter for me. Chocolate and peanut butter together? Is it peanut butter flavored chocolate, or is it chocolate and peanut butter at the same time? Like one bite of chocolate and 1 teaspoon of peanut butter, I wonder. Cheers, everyone. All right, I'm taking a sip of coffee here. And as I move down with this piece, I'm going to get to the shop front. That is so pretty. Okay, chocolate with peanut butter inside. I see. Okay. Not separately. River says, I've been doing... Let me read properly. River says, do you guys know what I mean when I say underline a stitch to end a thread? Underline a stitch. Does that mean you do? No, I don't. River, you have to explain. Jody says, I just posted a pic of what I'm working on during sale. Not a hate. Ah. Oh, so you're traveling, Jody, and you're taking it with you. Very nice. Yes, we've been talking about plain stitching. I've never done it before. I haven't tried it. Normally, I just try to play games on my mobile devices to kind of distract myself, because I don't like flying at all. Yes, I think peanut butter should work really well with chocolate. I mean, peanuts and chocolates, they kind of go together, isn't it? That's what is it called? Not M&M. Yes, I think it's got peanuts inside chocolate. River says, I call it climbing over stitches. Oh, you need to explain that a little bit more for us. Travis says, I just posted a picture of Amy Stewart puzzle. I saw at Walmart. Yes, quite a lot of Amy Stewart pieces. You can find them as puzzles as well. And in fact, if you go to, I follow Amy Stewart on Instagram. I think she promotes the puzzle projects more than cross-stitching ones. Maybe there's more profit. I don't know. She kind of, mentioned them quite a lot. Another button before I come back to stitching. And quite a lot of Colin Thompson. I don't know about Chira Marchetti, but it wouldn't surprise me if there are puzzle sets based on his artwork as well. And those are Amy Stewart's pieces. They're very playful, aren't they? So I'm sure it's very kind of quite popular with kids as well. Clara says that does look pretty. Yes, it is, isn't it? Particularly with 14 counts, because I kind of look at the stitches. It's harder to notice, but it's really pretty. Very pretty. And the shops at the bottom here. And I can't wait to work on this area here. All right. That's really nice. Let me take a sip of coffee. There. Much better. All right there. Okay then, so I'm back to 898. That's what I'm stitching. I need to make sure that there's no chocolate on my fingers. I'll try not to travel too far. Been frogging twice already today. One more. Just love the sound of the fabric as the thread goes through. I think it's particularly, clear with 14 counts. All right. Lovely. 898. And I'm going to come back to the top there and pick the next one, that one. Three, 8, 5, 8. And to be honest, you know, I've been stitching over 3 years, you know, this type of project. I haven't really, you know, if you look at the number of my webs, I think I've only have currently maybe under 25 webs, which is quite modest, right? Compared to Lona, for instance, 150. So I don't really start new ones that frequently. I kind of go through stages. I think in the beginning, I was going a little bit crazy. I just wanted to stitch everything. But, and then I settle for a little bit, just focus on what I'm doing. Not so much a conscious decision. Sometimes you just want to dig in to whatever you're stitching. Because to be honest, I don't come across things, you know, patterns I love so much that I want to stitch that frequently. It might sound like a surprise for you. I'm very cautious about starting new ones because I want to make sure that whatever I'm stitching, I'll be happy stitching for years to come, knowing, you know, the speed I'm stitching. So it's like making a new friend, isn't it? So very often if I browse patterns and come across something I like, I rarely just dive in and buy it immediately. I'm not a, you know, kind of impulse buyer in that sense, because I want to make sure that I absolutely love it and will be happy stitching it for years to come. So very often I just have them on my wish list and then just go back and visit them from time to time, and until the point that I'm totally convinced that I want to stitch them. And then I buy the pattern. So, you know, you're probably aware of majority of my webs here. I've got, I'm trying to think, a few patterns, the kind of in my folders. I have not started yet, but I don't really have that many, to be honest. So I think I'm quite measured in that sense. So even though I talk about new starts, and I do it from time to time, but only when I absolutely want to do it. So it's not like a sport, like I do it willy-nilly. Nikki says, can you believe I have 27 full coverage webs? That's including my upcoming new starts. That's not bad, Nikki. 27. I've got about 24 that's I'm actively stitching, you know, at this point. So, but Nikki, that's not bad because Nikki's probably been stitching this type of project a lot longer than me. So 27. Yes, that's not bad. That's not bad at all. So Nikki's going a little bit rogue this year, but you know, I think she's been probably a little bit like me, having new ones from time to time, but not like totally, not every 2 weeks. I don't think. Oh dear, what's happening here? So if Nikki's got 27, including the 5 she's starting, does that mean you've got 22 that's active? That's not bad. That's about the same number as mine. But the thing is, if I'm ready to start a new one, you can't stop me. I just want to do it. You know, for instance, the vintage toys that I started few weeks ago. It's been sitting in my folder for over a year. And even though I knew I wanted to start that piece at some point, but I didn't know when. So normally I just allow it to sit in my folder and I look at it from time to time. And at some point I'll go, yeah, now it's the time. In fact, I'm gonna end this one here. I don't want to go too far. Three 8, 5 8. With cross country, sometimes on 14 counts, I just keep stitching until the thread runs out. But today, for some reason, I just want to stop in a nearby area. I'm just happier this way. All right, 3 8, 60. Jody says, I have many whips just to bring me joy. I let go of the guilt of not finishing them, because what's the point of hobby if it doesn't bring me joy? Absolutely, Jody. It's not a job, is it, Jody? Same here. That's why I, not so much. I don't want to finish projects. Finishing for me is kind of something in the horizon. I know it's going to happen at some point if I keep stitching, but it's not the driving force for me to stitch. And I have mini goals. So for instance, if I'm stitching this area, for instance, my anticipation would be, it's going to be a lot of fun when I get to the shop area, the shop front. So there are sort of mini kind of, goals that I set in my mind, but it's not so much based on how many stitches I want to make or on what date I'm going to hit certain milestones. I think for me, that will probably just stress me out. And I'm doing for fun, for relaxation, for peace. But I think, yeah, we're made differently. For some of you, I know, it's nice to have a kind of daily goal, whatever keeps you going. But not for Yogi, no. The Starless Stitcher says, I have 2 I want to start. Noisy Neighbors. Is that the name of the piece? Wow, I'd love to see it. Noisy Neighbors. And Christmas Village, Afghan. I can't decide between them, so most likely I'll be bad and start both. Yeah, why not? If you're planning to start them roughly sometime in the future, and you can just start both like Nikki's doing. Nikki's starting with 5. There you go. On the same day. Dun, dun, dun. Right, 3 8 60. And there you go. The next one is, it's kind of relaxing that with typewriting method, because I know I have to follow the symbols in order. So I don't have to think about, oh, where do I start? Shall I start here or there? I know it's here. So this one I've got, so 152, 152. I've got only a couple of stitches here. Susan says, I think over time our tastes change. Yes, that's very true as well. I'm trying to think if my tastes have changed dramatically. Not over the 3 years, I don't think, but comparing to, you know, the type of pattern I like. I mean, you know, I talked about this when I did my whip parade the other week, and there are pieces that I did nearly 10 years ago I still love. So I don't think my taste really changed that much, but it could. If anything, not so much not liking my choices in the past. It's more of maybe my taste has become more open. Sort of, I like more things. Maybe things I didn't, you know, I wouldn't necessarily want to stitch before. Now I do. I'm sure that happens. Actually, there's only one stitch I want to do here. Oh, I'm being super, super conservative with my cross country here, because for well, I could keep going, but the nearest stitches is down here, which is about 10 stitches away, which I don't want to do. I want to keep it quite close. And 1, 2, 152. And I also noticed there are 2 stitches I forgot to mark. These 2. Alandria says, I have 2 whips, a ton of kits and patterns waiting to be started, and a few UFOs, some over 20 years old. I consider it an investment against future boredom, the same as many Warhammer kits. Oh, Warhammer kits. Is it cross-stitching kits as well? I have no idea what they are. Yes, I think, you know, as an investment for, you know, kind of something that makes you happy and also not be bored, okay? I think these are very good investments because, you know, even if you just buy a small kit, it will probably keep you occupied for a little while. Right, the next color is 3A62. 3A62. So I'm going to start from here. So this one, I'll probably travel down a little bit more. And 2 over here. So UFOs are the projects that for whatever reason you decided to abandon. So I don't think I've abandoned any projects just yet. I have projects that I maybe currently work on a little bit less, but still fully intend to work on them at some point. I don't think I have just totally abandoned a project just yet. But I think that's fair. If you just, if you're fairly sure that you just don't want to stitch it anymore, then, why stitch them? Janine says, I haven't decided what to do for my new start for the marathon. Either Nadia Strekina piece, butcher that one, or Kim Jacobs piece. Oh, interesting. Which one are you thinking about with Kim's project? All right, this one. Jody says, Yogi has a video on color flow method I need to watch, which I might do with the project again to learn. I don't have a tutorial as such, but Gemma Stitches has a tutorial for color flow. Just look it up. I think it's about a year old, that piece, that video. I do have one, a walkthrough for Gemma Stitches method, the original one, which I do have that. But if you want to look up color flow tutorial, go to Gemma's channel, and what I've got is day-to-day stitch with me, so you can see me actually practicing the method. Particularly look up Vintage Toys 2. That piece I started and still doing color flow method, and few others. Claudia, hello. Claudia says, sorry I'm late. Work strikes again. I know, how tedious. Yes, it's a normal work day for a lot of people. And she says, I hope everyone had a lovely holiday working, getting my fabric cut for the haze out today. Very nice. Time for a little bit of stitching. And Claudia, we're doing a marathon for New Year's Eve, okay? Just in case you haven't heard about it already. Next one's the purple. I love purple. 3835. 3835. 3835. I've got one here already. River says, for me, stitching is like breathing. The thought of going a day without it is absurd. Usually I don't have any plans for finishing pieces. But River, you have finished pieces. But I love the way, I love it because River is not goal-orientated from the sound of it, but she ends up finishing them. So finishing is almost like a beautiful byproduct. And for you just to come back and stitching every day. That's beautiful. I love it. So I think River has kind of strived a balance there. You know, she comes back to stitching just because she loves it. But at the same time, as a result, you end up with beautiful pieces. That's kind of, you know, where I am to a certain extent, even though I have not finished anything yet. So, but I think if I keep going, because comparing to quite a few of you, I'm a baby stitcher, right? I literally did not know this way of stitching existed until COVID. You know, we're talking maybe late 2022. So I've just got started. Watch me. Maybe at some point I'll finish something. Who knows? I'm not worried. Let me just do this one here. Jeanine says, River, I never finish anything but love starting. Jeanine, you and me both. But it's not so much I don't care about finishing. It's just, I just know that it's not really something I should focus on. I don't want that to be the driving force of me stitching. I stitch because I love it. That's kind of my only goal, is just to come back to it. Just like yesterday, you know, I came back quite late, feeling a bit tired. And the first thing I wanted to do was to do a little bit of stitching. You know, it's very grounding. All right, so this one, I am going to end it here. And I always feel really calm when I'm stitching. You know, only two things in life that kind of keeps me very, very peaceful as much as possible. One is yoga, and the other one is stitching or just doing things I enjoy doing, which is a lot of, you know, I like making stuff. So when I'm making stuff, I'm feeling very, very calm. 3A35. The Starless Stitcher says, I have abandoned a project. It was full coverage. I decided to abandon because it was my first gridded fabric. I started in the wrong place and constantly making too many errors. So instead of restarting, you just decided that wasn't happening, which is fair. Ah, Elandria, very interesting. Elandria says, my problem was that I started so many things for other people that weren't my kind of thing. So I was doing things for other people who made it clear that handmade gifts were cheap and tacky. Well, I think it's quite brave to promise someone of a finished piece, you know, of this kind. I think smaller samplers or smaller pieces probably is more likely, but I think to promise someone that when I finish this piece, you're going to get it is probably making things a lot more stressful than necessary, because these type of projects take so long, and somewhere along the line, if you decided that this piece is just not for me, I'm just fed up with it, you can't, because if you have promised someone that you're going to do it for them. So I would never ever dare to promise to give it to anybody. 154. I'm stitching for myself, so I can just take my own pace. And if I do one day, for any reason, I want to, abandon any project, I'm not going to feel guilty about it. It's between me and a whip. That's it. Clara says, I get rid of about 5 whips I just didn't like. I still have 1 whip that I will start over because I do not like 27 count. 27 counts. All right, let me have a look here. That's 154. So even though I have not really abandoned any project just yet, probably because, I take fair bit of time looking at patterns I really, really want to stitch. So I don't start on impulse. And so all the projects I've started, I still love them, but I need to learn, or I'm learning, to not to feel guilty, maybe not working on some of them for a little bit, for whatever reasons. Sometimes you're just into stitching certain projects, or sometimes for whatever reason you just don't want to stitch some of them. And I'm learning to be okay with that, and not to feel like I have the obligation to keep stitching. Kind of having equal time between all of them. I just don't think it works like that for me. All right, where shall I go? Shall I travel a little bit? All right then. 1, 2, 3, 4. Trying to be mindful. Jody says, I've been stitching since I was a kid, and now 51. My mom bought my first kit. Wow. My mom taught me how to knit when I'm trying to remember my age then. So I'm 37 now. And I think when I learned stitching, I was probably under 10. I'm pretty sure. I remember I was quite young. But I don't think my mom ever mentioned cross stitching. And I kind of discovered it myself. I can't remember what age, maybe teenage years. And started stitching kind of samplers and stuff, small things. And I loved it. That one. Let me count carefully. This one. One, two. Susan says, every year at Christmas, I knit a cardigan for my sister. She likes hand knitting and wears them. I think knitting is more doable, isn't it, as a gift, because it doesn't take as long, majority of the projects. Maybe a few months, you know, depends on what you're knitting. But yes, full coverage, cross stitching, probably, you know, it takes a little bit longer. I mean, Susan, would you promise to give your traveling library to someone? River says, Yogi, I know one of my daughters will love, adore Sad Fairy. When finished, I will ask if she would like to have it, but I'm not going to say anything about it beforehand. Yes, that's much better. You can stitch in your mind and dedicate it to someone, and you know, only tell them when it's close to finish or when it's done. So you're not kind of stitching under pressure, you know. Yes, I think that's probably good policy. Okay. Oh, Landra is a knitter as well. She says, my daughter loves when I knit her a cardigan and unicorn I stitch in the summer was for her toe. Yes, I think knitting is quite a nice thing, you know, and they don't take forever to finish. And also they're functional, you know, you can knit a scarf, which is very simple, and you can use it. Or cardigans, very nice. All right. Next one. Oh, 310. That's a surprise. Yes, why not? A little bit of 310. Susan says traveling library is my gift to me. Yes. Yes, your windows were needed because you're going to use it as a curtain. Until then, curtainless for Susan. Oh, spooky bingo. There you go. 310. Jackie James, everybody's supportive bingo, spooky bingo card for Jackie, please. Yes, I think this may be the first one. Do we have one earlier on? Yes. 310 spooky bingo for Jackie. Yay. We had a frog stitches bingo. A slightly different kind of bingo. Nikki says I'm working on my 5th iteration of CXC organization. Nikki, I like your sort of filing cabinet style floss storage, but that's for your stash, right? It's you don't use that for your active stitching. I kind of get the impression that's how you store your spare stash of floss, which is quite nice. Spooky bingo. Thank you, Rachel. Thank you, Rajal. Nikki says, I use it for DMC Floss Master Set and use it for projects. But do you use it when you're stitching? Or is it more of a storage system? Because you have to flick through all the different thread cards. Quite a few 310 happening here. Nikki says, I use it like floss drops. So you literally take them out when you're stitching, like one set, one floss card at a time. Interesting. River says, my daughter crocheted me a gorgeous infinity scarf years ago. It's so soft, snuggly and warm. Every winter I look forward to wearing it. Yes, I think particularly if you knit someone's something that people can wear on them, like a scarf or a cardigan, it's very intimate. It's very personal, isn't it? So, you know, the other day I was talking about the birthday cake story. Someone, you know, from work, they just decided to bake me a birthday cake, and the kind of burden, you know, probably similar to if someone I don't know very much and then decided to knit me a cardigan or something, I'll probably feel the same kind of pressure. I'll probably just panic because it's so intimate, just like, you know, homemade baked, you know, cake. It's very, very personal. And you probably only do it for people you really, really love. So I hope no strangers would, you know, knit a cardigan for me or something like that. I'll probably have to run. Nikki says I pull a strand out of it. But the thing is though, where do you put your box then? It's a box with multiple thread cards on top and it looks, you know, you probably take up a little bit of space. Does that mean you have it somewhere that you can just reach and do it? That's very interesting. Oh my God. Wendy says, I just heard my dog Mini Poodle chewing. After a while, I had a look and she was chewing my floss. What? And making noises. Are they crunchy? Is your floss crunchy? Oh dear. Now here's the test on how much you love the dog. Are you going to punish the dog? Or, which one comes first? The floss or the dog? Well, at least the dog's not chewing your whip, Can you imagine just chewing the whole thing? Ah, Nikki, so you're literally using that box as an active thread organizer. Oh. But wouldn't it be easier to have a kind of regular organizer? It doesn't take up as much space. But I think the advantage of that is you can probably load quite a lot of threads on each thread card. Wendy says she's in timeout. She's grounded, okay? No treat for you for at least 5 minutes. Rachel Morton says, I'm glad the dog didn't choke on the floss. Oh yes, that's a worry as well. She says, my friend's cat died after getting thread and eating and choking. Oh dear, that's not nice. Yes, cats do love playing with threads. When I used to knit a lot, yes, they come and play with my working threads. Yes, that's a worry because my cats, they are not that sort of curious about, kind of chewing things. So every cat is different, but some cats, they literally just put everything in their mouth and see what it tastes like. So yes, please be careful as well. All right. Next one, 939. 939. It's very dark as well. It's a dark navy blue. Ooh. Landria says, I'm still finding shades of floss that have been colored. with permanent mark by my infant son. My son is now 21 years old. My goodness. You still have the evidence. Maybe now he's 21. Time to buy mummy, you know, some DMC. Ah, so Nikki's got the entire set of DMCs on 21 rolls. Interesting. So you don't need to take the thread cards out. You just pick one strand. I'm just thinking in terms of where you put your box, because the box, if you put it on the floor, you have to lean over to do it. So I presume if you have a big worktop, you can just put it on a tabletop. Wow, that's aliens working in alien style. That's Nikki for you. And what about your cones then? I'm thinking about cones. I suppose you just pull out like a 6-strand piece of whatever length and do it, right? So you don't work with it any differently. So I'm literally at the edge of the page now. Windy. Oh, so the doggy was cheering the end of your floss. Well, that's quite nice because now your threads will have your doggy's DNA, you know, and we often talk about those of us have cats, for instance, the cat hair goes everywhere. And what do you do when you have, you know, cat fluff just floating on your project when you're stitching? And I think quite a lot of us just stitch it in the stitches, just bury the fluff into the stitches. So literally our webs will have our cats and dogs DNA. I like the idea. It's very organic. So now Wendy's doggy's DNA is firmly on Wendy's webs. Forever. Yeah, cats love threads, you know, particularly knitting threads, so they go crazy. Nikki says my cones, I use a 6-pack usually for ECC. Okay, for extreme cross country. So you only use the cone pieces when you know you're going to use a lot of 310. So I presume you probably have regular ones as well. Right, 939, 939. You know, it's always so interesting to see how a stitcher organize their flaws, their setup, because you know we kind of customize it to fit our way of stitching, and every individual stitcher is a little bit different. So some systems, like my floss cards, might work for some stitchers, but not everybody. So some, you know, some of you like bobbins, for instance. And someone like Gemma is working with envelopes, you know, basically little containers with one color at a time. So we all have kind of our own preferences on, you know, on how to organize our set, our floss, our needles. All right, back to 310. There's a lot of 310 around here, so I expect a little bit of a spooky bingo. Let's have a look. 310. There's quite a lot of 310 here. Karen says, my puppy loves wool. He grabs a ball of wool and run outside with it. Not the first time. Yes, dogs, I bet. They all like round objects. Cats, they love strings. And dogs, if you throw them anything ball shape, they'll run with it. Claudia, there you go. 310 spooky bingo. Yes. Supportive spooky bingo card for Claudia. Yes, Jackie, well done. 310 spooky bingo for Claudia. Here we go. I'm going to stitch in order here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So the page width is about 5 blocks and a little bit. Thank you, Rajal. Monique says, my dog likes to sit on my floss or webs as soon as I get ready to sit on them, because they know, and cats as well, they know you're about to, they want to be within your focal point. I think when you look down to stitch, particularly cats, you know, a lot of people working on computers and stuff like that, and stitching as well, they know they want to be in the sort of focal point of your attention. So, you know, if you sit down and ready for a little bit of stitching, they'll probably just come to sit on your hoops. They know what they're doing. Alicia says, I would love to give Yogi's home method a try, but I just spent a good amount of money on a set of acrylic hanging thread organizer for a full set of DMC. Ah, absolutely. Give it a try, see if you like it. Because I'm quite picky in terms of, you know, how I like to work. So the best policy for me is to make my own and customize it to fit my own needs. So the short ball ones, I have tried a bit. I started off with bobbins when I was working with less colors, you know, like simpler stitching kits and stuff. They normally come in bobbins. So that's how I, you know, the first kind of organizing method that I came across. And then later on, I realized that there are other methods. And I bought quite a few of those Paco organizers. You guys probably know and probably have a few as well. I've got about 12 of them still sitting there. What happened was they were kind of working quite well with smaller projects. So I would dedicate one organizer, those Parker ones, for one project. You know, at that time I was working with projects probably have less than 40 colors. Majority of them probably less than that, you know, 30 colors or something like that. So each organizer belongs to one project, which it kind of worked until the system started to break when I started to work on Heaven and Earth projects, you know, with so many colors involved. Each project involves multiple organizers. So that's when things started to get a little bit messy. And gradually I just decided I have to come up with my own way, otherwise it's going to get out of hand. So first of all, I started to get a kind of master set to start with and started to explore the best way to organize them for me. So it's very individual. And now I'm just really happy with the thread cards. So I just have a whole set there and just flick them through like a book. And they're quite light and portable. So it'll work for me for now. And of course, I'm looking to improve it whenever I can. Jackie. Jackie says, my kitty is so naughty when she wants to be fed. She knows it will happen quicker if she touches my cross stitch. Very subtle, very subtle. They know what they're doing. They're so clever. Yes, what's happening to Landria? Yes, Landria's keyboard. Maybe it's butt typing. Not butt dial, butt typing. Claudia says, my squash is sitting in front of my monitor trying to catch your fingers, Yogi. Hey, little squash, catch these ones. Yes. Oh, that's so funny. Yes, sometimes they look at the monitors and try to catch the mouse cursor and stuff like that. They're hopeless. Oh, it's a cat. Cat. Well, Landry's cat has been doing some typing there. Sort of secret message to the stitchers. See you later, River. Good to see you. Nikki says, did you show your new organizer yet? I have with one stream. Let me show you then. So, very good point. Because I'm kind of talking about it without showing you what they look like. So, let me bring on the old one, the previous one, and do a comparison for you. So, the organizer I've been using, let me just have a look at here. Why don't I move this away for a little bit so I can show you So I'll show you my previous version, okay? Some of you probably have this one as well. Let me just put this away here. So up to this point, so this one I created a couple of years ago. So I created a template, cut it off. Let me just zoom in a little bit. So these are basically thread cards. And so originally I didn't have this back here. So everything's kind of just dangling there. And I used to put the ring through the upper left there. So you can see all the holes are still there. I used to have the ring on the upper left and just open the floss cards this way. So all the text is written facing this way because this is how I used to use it. And I'll flip through like a book without these rings. Okay, so the ring have single ring on the upper left and I just open it like a book. So it was workable for a little bit, but I did notice the floss at the bottom eventually maybe could get dirty or dusty and stuff like that. So I came across, you guys probably have as well, you probably came across Stitching Masterpieces, and she came up with a really clever idea of wrapping the floss at the bottom, covering with just a plastic bag with kind of a Ziploc bag, and then just fold it at the back to secure it. Even though her thread card system is a little bit different. Hers, they're kind of slightly skinnier, and then she kind of stacked them. You can go to her channel and see how she worked to do her sort of, build her organizer. And so these ones, literally, I just took my original thread cards and kind of converted it to make it work for that method. So up to this point, before I started with Master Set, I was working with symbols quite a lot. So I used to have one set of this for each project. And then I would draw the symbols as well, just like with Gecko Rouge one. My Gecko Rouge set, I basically draw the symbols as well to cross-reference with the thread number. So this is how I used to use it. And as I started to build Master Set, the symbols space kind of become a little bit redundant because I don't use them. I just follow the numbers now. So I decided to come up with a new version just a couple of weeks ago. I was working on a new version because my CXC set was falling apart. So this is for DMC. And so this piece of felt I just attach there so I can dock the threads or needles, okay? And so the new version looks like this. So a few improvements, I think, in my mind. So first of all, I discovered the joy of laminating, okay, guys? I treated myself a laminator. So you can see that these cards are laminated to start with. So they're a lot more sturdy, even though the cardboard is still going really well. And so the new version, let me do a comparison here for you. This is like QVC, isn't it? It's a little bit slimmer. So card by card, you can tell this one is a lot shorter. So I can fit 3 cards on an A4 sheet rather than 2 with this one because I was reserving space for the symbols here, and I no longer need the space for symbols. So the new one, working in a very similar way, but just more compact, and also I have pre-populated numbers, so I don't need to manually write them. So I used to handwrite all the numbers, and it's labor intensive, but also you can make mistakes. So if you skip one and keep going back to the end, you could have numbers missing. So with the pre-populated, I've got one set for DMC, one set for CXC. So literally I just print them all out, order them, and I've got my thread cards. And so the felt is also slightly shorter. It's still fully usable with my 14 count pieces. So this is how I use the felt area, I just dot my needles there. So 2 strands, I don't use the needle board, I just dot them here. So I know it looks a little bit messy, but everything is in place for good reasons, okay? This is, you know, I like a little bit of chaos amongst organizations. So this is kind of how my brain works. I know they're there for, you know, for good reason. So I'm not worried about a little bit of a slightly messy appearance. So this one, you know, you can dot the threads or just thread the needles through. So this is my new set. It's indestructible. This is so sturdy. The cards are so sturdy. So you don't need to laminate them, but, you know, I think it's a good idea. So this one will probably last me for ages. So there you go. And the bottom, I'm using the same method and just keep everything saved there. So this is a master set. It's got all the colors I need for all my projects. And I just top them up as I go, need to know basis. And when I use it, now all the numbers are facing this way. So I just place it on my table here, on my desk, and then just flip them through like a book, just like that. And it's nice and flat. So like this. So it's a book, really. And that for me. Okay, so this is my new version, and if you don't know already, you can download both versions from my Facebook, well, our Facebook group. So it's free for you. So because I built these templates for myself, so I'm just simply sharing them with you. So you can find a template on the Facebook group. Okay. There. Oh, Jody says, wait, how do you pull threads out? Yes, good question. Let me show you as I'm about. Well, I can pull out another 310 for you. So let's say, let me show it on my new organizer. It's the same with on my current set. Okay, so let me find a 310. Let's try on the 310 then. So I just flip through to 310. Okay, so normally I place it this way and flip to the number I want. Oh, why don't I just pull out any random ones so you can see? So for instance, if I want 317, so I tend to sort of loop my thread this way. Some people do it opposite, like that way, but I'm used to this having this round bits this way, and I just go into this how do I describe it? So rather than threads facing this way, I just come to this area and just pull one thread out. Can you see it? Let me zoom in a little bit more. And let me pick a color you can see better. Does that make sense? So you want to come into this area that's horizontal and just pick out one strand and just keep pulling. And we'll just come out. That's it. If you try to pull anything from here, it's going to get, you know, or tangled. But if you come to this thread that's facing the other way, horizontal, then just pick out a single strand and just keep pulling, and it comes out. Really nice. Okay. Hope that makes sense. Because a lot of things I've done so much that I kind of I forget that perhaps it's not always that obvious for everyone. So there you go. That's a good question. And Kristen says, so pretty, thank you so much. It does look, I like the lamination because it makes it stronger, make the card stronger, but also very glossy as well. So very nice. Jody, what do you mean? Not the felt, the one on the hoops. Solar Wind says, for my master set, I use Annie's keepers with the slide. They fit in the file drawers like hanging files. Oh, sounds very similar to what Nikki is doing. Yes, Nick. If you go to our Facebook group, Nikki has posted a picture of her system. It sounds very similar to that. Sola says, for quicker type projects, I like envelopes, like what Gemma does. Yes, Gemma does the whole set. I think she's got all the colors she's working with, and each color in one envelope, and she just organizes them like, you know, kind of filing system. So every stitcher is different, isn't it? Lona says, Yogi, can you show how you connected your floss cards, please? Do you mean the rings on the side? Yes, I can. I'll see if I can show you. They're literally just two flexible key rings. I think that's what they are categorized as. Let me see if I can come to this view here. So basically on the side, so I just put this loop through, which is, let me see if I can find an example. I haven't got any spare ones, so they literally come as a kind of a short strings. They're open, you know, by default, and you can connect them through this connector there. It's just a screw in kind of thing. You can get any kind of metal rings that works. So this one I can literally unscrew, and it opens like this, and you can connect multiple ones to make them bigger. So this one I've got two connected together. So, and all you have to do is to create the ring of the size you want, and then just loop the string through. It's it's easier to use the flexible ones because it's just easier to work with, and also as you flip through, you know, there's a little bit of give there. And I just use the holes on the sides and this side as well the same way. So they kind of, you know, overlapping with the floss a little bit, but not too bad. I don't have trouble getting the thread out. So all that's it. So it's kind of just buying the whole thing together like a book, and on both sides, and that's it. You can use anything. So with my DMC set, I'm using the ones that's not flexible, but these are, I just happen to have for some floss drops. I just happen to have two of them. They're large enough, and I just use them to bind my DMC set. So you want the rings to be kind of large enough that, you know, so you have space to work with the cards. So you don't want them too tight. All right, so I hope that makes sense. All right. Whoops. So now it's very easy. I just need to pull out, you know, one set at a time, depending on what floss I'm working with. And that's it. I can swap my web as many times as I want. I don't need to do anything else. Karen says, I'm considering putting all my painting fairy threads together like this. You absolutely can. And also the great thing is if you have a printer, you can literally just make them very cheaply at home. And you can have as many sets as you want. Claudia says, I did my master set like you do, Yogi, not as elegant. I cut my card out of old Amazon boxes and wrote in the numbers, but it has helped so much. I started a new project every day if I want. Yes, absolutely. So the idea of the floss card is very simple. It's basically kind of a piece of cardboard that's sturdy enough that you can punch holes and you can write numbers on top of it or symbols. That's it. That's really it. So, you know, even if you don't have a printer, you don't need a template necessarily. As you said, it may not look as, you know, tidy, but it works. Lona says, and all your floss is on those two rings? Yes. So for DMC, I think the full set for all the cards you need is about, I think, 27 cards. And you can just buy them with two rings. Yes. One, two. Let me see. There. You're welcome, Lona. And I think some people use the thread cards come with heaven and earth patterns. You know, they've got a thread cards there. Some of them just cut off those, but I suppose that is if you want to build a set for a specific project. But you can use, you can just print out the sort of spreadsheets that's freely available on the internet, the DMC full set. You can do it that way as well. So there are many ways to kind of achieve similar effects. All right, I think I've gone all the way for the first row till the end. Yes, I didn't realize it's 12:30. Time flies when I'm stitching with you. Yes, so I think I'll make that color my final color there. So I end this very strong with 310 there. So let me zoom out a little bit and show you what's happening on my fabric today, okay? There, let me zoom out a little bit more. So today, I carried on from the page above and keep working down a little bit, so you can see there's a rooftop kind of completed over there. So this is the top border. This hoop is quite big, so this is literally the top border. So this piece I started from upper left and to the left there, and gradually working page by page at this point. And you know, going forward, I might not need to follow the page width. You know, with this one, I was following kind of a legacy, you know, border there from Markup RXP. So yes, it's looking quite nice. The color is quite vibrant, and also this is, you know, before I even start backstitching. With backstitching later on, is gonna add more details. Everything's gonna pop out even more. But even as like this, it's quite pretty, isn't it? Can you imagine this whole piece here? And so I'm very happy with my progress today. So for this section below, today I'm working on this piece following a little bit of typewriting method there. So just picking through the colors, and I reach at the end of the border on the right there. So I'm very, very happy. And so let's have a look, and I'll give you my stitch count for sure. Okay, let's have a look. Nikki says, I use the printed hay thread cards to put my extra threads for the project instead of maintaining a lot of needles. Yes, I think a lot of stitchers just use those DMC full set spreadsheets, and you can just print them out, laminate them, or do whatever, and you can do it exactly the same way. Jackie says, what do you do if you have two different color threads? What do you mean by that? Two different color threads? Do you mean blend colors? Oh, blended. Okay, so I've got some examples with this kit. This is 14 count kit. So this, I'm using the old set, okay, and tape over with masking tape. So I'm just reusing my old sets. I'll probably build a new one for this one as well. So I, with this kit, I combine all four kits together. They use the same type of threads, but some of them have blend colors. So let me show you what's happening here. So at the end, I created a special section to incorporate the blended ones. So these colors already existed in other thread cards, but I created a new category for the combination of both. Let me zoom in a little bit so you can see. And also I added symbols as well, just to avoid any confusion. So I can cross-reference with the symbols for the pattern. So these ones are blended ones. So I just, you know, use the punch holes as usual create a little bit of space. So if you're using my templates, in the zip file, I included a blank template as well. So I've got one set for CXC, one set for DMC with pre-populated numbers, but I also included a blank template, which is only for the thread cards without the pre-populated numbers. So you can literally just draw your own, put in additional numbers if you want to create a blended category, just one extra thread cards or stuff like that. So this is how I do it. Very simple. So, okay. So hopefully that answers your question. And let me have a quick look of this on my app here, okay? Even though we tile against my stitches, we still want to know the thread counts. So let me just show you where I am today. This is the area I've been working on, nice and steady there. It's a really beautiful pattern actually, and the number of stitches I have done today, here we go. Well, not bad, is it? 233. Very, very nice. I mean, the 14 counts I really love because it's got enough color changes so you're not bored, but it's not too intense, so not too much confetti. So 223 is the number of stitches I've done today, and I'm moving the 10 point something percentage a little bit forward. I can't remember how I started, maybe 10.5 something, and now I'm 10.62. There you go. And overall, this project has got 55 colors. So thank you so much. And let me switch back here. And yes, this is Monday, isn't it? Technically Tuesday already. We're past midnight. And thank you for joining me today. And don't forget, and tomorrow we're coming back for another session and another training session before our New Year marathon. Okay, so get your, sports gear ready and warm up your little hands and feet and, carb loading and do whatever you need. Stretching, full body stretching, okay? So tomorrow we're coming back for another training session. And then on Wednesday, which is New Year's Eve, we are doing our New Year's marathon, okay? So New Year's marathon, and I'll try to post out the schedule as soon as I can for the marathon. And I think it's going to start from 9 p.m. UK time. So you need to do the conversion for your local time. 9 p.m. UK time, we're going to stitch for 10 hours together and do 2 countdowns. With the guys in the UK and Europe, and also we're gonna keep stitching until we hit the next midnight, the first time zone to hit midnight in the US, and do another countdown with our US friends and the rest of the world in between, and then stitch till about 7 a.m. in the morning. Okay, so let's do it and get your new start ready for our marathon, and we're going to come back for another training session tomorrow. Until then, night everyone. Thank you for joining me, and beautiful stitches. I'll see you tomorrow. Night. Bye.